Hey guys, welcome back to another video on why you should play. The whole purpose of this series, as I explained before, is just to get people to find out different fighting games that might fit their cup of tea. So with that said in mind, I'm going to try at least to drop 2 per month with a singular video, maybe like a character breakdown and some shorts and things of that nature, just to get some content flowing. So I'll try my best to, come up with a little bit more info dumps and tutorials that'll help spice up the channel and keep you guys watching. You may have seen this strapping young man before in a game called Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Some may have thought, like myself, that he was like a new character like Song Song, though technically Song Song is a derivative of her grandfather's game, but that's different, or Ruby Heart, or, the other characters. But little did you know, he actually has his own fighting game called Plasma Sword here in the States and Star Gladiator in Japan. The name change is because it was the source material and the name are too close to Star Wars, which Capcom was trying to avoid, running into lawsuits and other trademark infringements with Lucasfilms. So now we have Plasma Sword here in the States. So as we do per usual, if you're new, we go over the breakdown of the arcade modes, practice, in the home consoles and the arcade versions. So without further ado, we'll show throughout time or throughout the gameplay on why you should play Star Gladiator 2. So, as we talked about earlier, we're going to get right into it. We're going to be talking about arcade and practice mode. And it's going to be kind of a short section. It's going to be kind of like run-of-the-mill thing here, like I say later. Just your standard 8 stages, the 8th stage being your big baddie for that character, and a mid-boss in between. You get a nice little dialogue going, it's really nice, and yeah, for the home release and arcade mode, is not really much difference. The practice mode is pretty light, it's your standard run-of-the-mill 90s, 80s practice mode, all that fun stuff. So there's nothing really crazy going on in terms of the arcade mode and practice mode. It's just obviously to help you get more acquainted with the characters and stuff like that, and just keep playing and enjoying the characters as you play it. In my experience, I had a really good time playing the arcade mode. It's very short, I would say even faster than most arcade modes from the 90s that I played. And I like the little fun thing that they do with the credits here, as you'll see. I have on the screen here, they have fake names, which a lot of Japanese devs like doing, just adding random fake names. Another example of this is Metal Gear Solid 1 on PlayStation, or MGS1, where they just have random names of people who don't even work there, or it's just to keep some games anonymous just in case they don't do well, all that fun stuff. So it's just fun to see that little quirk here in a Capcom game, so it's really funny to see that. So that's pretty much it. Like I said, the arcade mode and practice mode are just bare bones, kind of. And later we'll talk a little bit more about the practice mode, and maybe I might forget some things, I don't know. But yeah, without further ado, let's just hop into the practice mode and mechanics of the game. So, as I said earlier with the practice mode, it's very run-of-the-mill. You can tell how nowadays when we have like hitboxes, we have all these things to show frame data and things of that nature. It's going to be a running theme amongst this series when I cover at least older fighting games from at least the 80s to 90s. Practice mode is just, infinite super bar and, changing, the status of your CPU. So you can tell nowadays how well we're eating good with just practice mode and things of that nature. So let's just go quickly over the mechanics, just like a quick overview, nothing too crazy. Everybody has what's called a plasma gauge. That's basically your super meter to do moves. I believe there's no EX moves in the game, there's just supers, and then what's called a plasma strike, where the opponent will hit you with this move that puts them in this basic state that gives the stage walls, depending on the character, gives them like different attributes that they can put into the game. So as I said earlier, plasma gauge is just your run-of-the-mill Street Fighter, like Stalker's power gauge essentially. And then you have what's also called Plasma Reflect or Plasma Revenge, which basically is like a parry button. And this parry button allows you to basically shield yourself for like a frame and, you know, stop an incoming attack, and being able to, you know, attack back and things like that. So think of it more like a what is it called in Soul Calibur? I can't remember. Guard Impact. Think of it like a Guard Impact. It's basically Guard Impact in a Capcom game, which is pretty cool to think about. So yeah, like I said earlier, within the within the game of Plasma Sword, there are characters who are granted unique skills that are called Plasma Fields. So that's what I basically explained earlier. You will hit your opponent with this skill, which now will turn this 3D plane into like a 3D cage, essentially. And every character is different. So within this, you can have like infinite supers. One character grows really large. Another character has like extended range on their weapons. Some freeze you. So there's a lot of different things that learning each character will give you, and in my opinion, it makes the game a lot more fun. So this game's mechanics, though aren't like new or like innovative for its time, did try its best to spice it up, to try to give you a different way of looking at these skills. So without further ado, I think it's now the time, since we talked about the mechanics, to look into the characters and stages and really get accustomed to the world of Plasma Sword. So in conclusion, I would say that Plasma Sword is a decent game. It was Capcom's attempt at a 3D fighter with the sidestepping and the different parry systems and the super system and the different allocations used to use the super system by having the Plasma Surge. I say it's a good game. If I was to give it a score, I would give it maybe 5.5. Or I'll just give it a 5. I'll give it a 5 out of 10. Lightsabers. I think it's a good game by all means. Like I said earlier, one of Capcom's best designed fighting games. I love Hayato's like basic black fit with the white shirt. I think it looks so like torn up white shirt. I think it looks so cool. He's such a cool character, and the combat system of the flowchart is so cool, but it gets so underutilized by the really bland stages and the kind of forgettable playlist. I'm not gonna lie, the OST of this game is very forgettable. It's not one of Capcom's best, but it's not one of Capcom's worst. It's a very average fighting game by all means. I'm not saying that like, oh, this game has no intricate, gameplay, it's just bad all around, don't play it. What I'm saying is, like, comparative to the heat that Capcom was dropping before, I would say this is kind of their low fruit. But by all means, I still say check it out if you have the Capcom Fighting Collection, which most of this was filmed on. I say just give it a try. There's always a reason to try something, even if it is mediocre. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I should have soon, by the end of this week or next week, mid-next week, a Tokon review, probably after the beta's over, because I'm gonna try to get as much practice down with the beta as I can. So be sure to check that out. And yeah, remember, stay my X's. Peace.